Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Millennial Diaries. I'm Kayla.
Hello, I'm Rachel.
And today we are talking about learning to forgive and heal. I kind of came up with this topic because I don't even know what, like Rachel texted me like, what are we talking about? And I was like, I was thinking healing and forgiveness. And I don't even have nothing going on right now in my life that I feel like anyone that I need to forgive. I mean, I feel like healing is always happening, but I don't know. It just felt like a good topic.
It is a good topic. It's around, well, right now, it's around the holidays. So we don't know when this is going to drop.
Yeah.
But I feel like this episode will resonate with people. Because there's just things like forgiveness and forgetting. Do you forgive and forget?
I think those are two different things.
Yeah, they are two different things. But you know how the saying goes, forgive and forget. Do you forgive and forget? Or do you, how are you?
No, I forget. And depending on what you did, I forgive and I'll never speak to you again. And then
So
I'll
you don't
never
forget.
even tell you that we not cool no more.
So you're more, I think I'm that way too. Like, I'm always forgive people in the moment. Because I feel like if you don't, you carry that. You walk around with that. You hold that burden. So you have to forgive people. Because sometimes they don't know any better. Or sometimes they do. It's just like they don't care.
Yeah.
So what you going to hold on to that?
And for what?
But I don't forget.
But for what? Like, what's the point of holding on to it?
It's not.
Like, I don't even feel like forgiveness is something that you have to discuss. And I feel like a lot of times people say, like, in order to move on, like, I need to talk to them and tell them what they did to me.
Okay, you know how normally it's the other way around? I'm about to flip it. You know how I don't like social media? I found something that is similar to what you can say in a social media post, maybe towards the end of the summer.
Uh-huh.
Blew my mind. I don't know if I sent it to you or if you've seen it. It's a lady saying, do you need the person that hurt you to tell you they hurt you? And yeah, I know it hurt bad and you need that closure.
Like, but what does that mean?
Like, I have to see you the post. I don't
No,
think
but I'm still saying, like, no, I understand what you're saying, but what does that, like, what value, I get it. Like, why do you need someone to say, like, oh, yeah, I messed,
sorry, I'm so sorry.
oh, yeah, I messed you up, and I'm sorry about that, but forgive me? Like, no, I don't need you to, I know what happened.
And you don't need to relive that or whatever.
At all. Like, I don't need to discuss it. Like, people know when they did you wrong. People know when they moved the wrong way.
But also, sometimes they don't. I've had to learn that too.
No.
Most of the time, they do. But Kayla, I learned that in my earlier 20s. Sometimes people don't know.
I am a grace-giving person. I am a grace-giving person. But that is no. When you did something to the point where I'm going to cut you off and not speak to you no more, you know what you did.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got to explain it to you, and you don't have to come to me and know, oh, I'm sorry I did this. Nope, you did what you did for a reason. It benefited you in that moment, or your ego or your attitude, and you went about it the way you wanted to, and I'm going to go about it the way I want to.
And you did it regardless of how I would have felt.
And that be my thing. Ooh, I'm about to get real mad.
I'm sorry. It'd be the principle of the
That'd be the thing, because you knew that if the tables were turned and it was me doing it to you, you would be on a 10 million. But I'm not going to even give you all that. I'm not going to hoop and holler and make a whole scene. Nope. You got it. You did it. Be blessed.
And you know why? You know why we do it that way? I don't know if it's like this for you. No cocky-ish. They always spin the block.
And I'm not even talking about me in them.
No, I'm not talking about that either. I'm saying,
but
business,
it's like everything.
Connections. People, they reconnect with you at the end of the day.
Or try to. Always.
You're talking about
that. I wish I could say specifics, but I'm not. And because I don't want to be messy, but it has been like some times where people did some weird stuff to me, and I've stopped dealing with them, stopped being cool with them, and then they find some reason. Oh, I think I saw this pen that was yours. Like, just something.
Oh no, it don't be like that
that.
for me. It's like we probably doing business together down the line, and you think I'm gonna be weird? No, I'm gonna get this money. We gonna get this money.
I don't get those.
We're still not ever gonna talk again.
No.
If I decide to work with you again, I'm at this point in my life where it's like, nah, you gotta protect that energy.
And I think
I can't even let you come back in and spend a block.
Yes, too many times people think, oh, well, then you didn't forgive them then.
What if you talk to them again?
No, if you can't like go back to where you were.
That's facts. People be like, oh well, you're still holding a. We don't do grudges. Again, we don't carry that burden.
But I remember what you did.
Boundary.
And I'm just Little Miss Boundary.
That's
that
a boundary.
episode is forever.
Girls, go watch it.
But hey,
Go
watch
You're
it.
gonna look at the drives on the
Right.
sidebar. You're gonna look at the drives and be like, Rachel, watch. I watched a few times. We're on to something.
I can't wait.
They're really
Okay.
good episodes.
But no, seriously, boundaries are super important too, because I think that will help you with that forgiveness healing journey. Because if you don't set boundaries and you do decide to, I guess, forgive and forget, you will end up being in the same situation again. Because I think even after someone has done something and you decide to forgive them, you still have to allow them to prove to you that they won't continue that same cycle.
And that's where I get stuck. Is like, I don't know if this is kind of naive. I trust pretty much anybody unless you do something where it's like, all right, I forgive you. I'm not gonna forget that. Once that trust is gone in any way, I can't trust you again. And if I can't trust you, I don't feel safe with you. I don't want to do business with you. If I can't trust you, I can't do nothing with you. I don't know. Is that naive?
I feel like I start off differently. Like I started off with kind of being like,
say hi to the camera.
We gonna edit this part out.
See, and he's supposed to do. He already has specific instructions. He was coming around.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, it's cool. Just edit this part.
I'll edit that part
Okay,
out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is that naive though?
I think it is naive a little bit, but I don't even want to say I think it is naive. I just think it's different from what I'm doing. So I would think it's naive to trust someone without them giving me a presentation of who they are, because I have to kind of see you to trust you in my mind.
But true. People are really good actors.
And they are, so that's why I gotta feel you out a little bit. And I always say I act like I talk about other people when they do it, but I do it when I say, Tyler's take a minute to warm up to you. And that's how I am. Like, it takes me a minute to be me. Like, you gonna get cross legs, cross hands, like, okay. And then next thing you know, like, oh, like, but
That is funny.
it takes me a minute to warm up to you, because I gotta read the room a little bit before I can just.
But you can still do all that, and it's just like that person can still be a fuck person.
But I'm gonna give it some time. It's not gonna be like off the bat. And yes, they can still, but because I'm giving it time, that means I'm also moving, like giving a little bit at a time. I'm not like, oh, it's day 3 and you've done amazing. Here goes all of them.
Okay, not like that. I maybe not trust. Grace is great. That's our word that we like to use.
I love
Is
grace.
it maybe I'm giving people too much grace when I initially meet them? But it's just like, I don't know. No, I'm a nice person. That's how I was raised. You know what? Sorry. I was raised around people who know how to deal with people who are genuine. So when I go out into the world and deal with people who don't know how to deal with genuine people, that's when I come into these sort of situations. So it don't even be that. It's like, yeah, it's me. Yeah, she would take 2 to tango.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like grace and trust. I just be too graceful and too trusting in people sometimes.
But
And I
that's
think it's
not
a bad thing.
necessarily, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If anything, I almost feel like my perspective is a bad thing. Because I think the world has almost, I'm not going to say hardened me, but it's kind of shaped me to be more guarded. Because I've experienced some things where I go into a situation and people aren't like me. Like, everywhere you go, like, people aren't like you.
Yeah.
Like, so I can't expect people to be me.
Which is why I feel like I am the way I am because I know that everybody's like that, or a lot of people are like that. Well, the world has made me this way, so I'm just a little guarded, which is why I try to be graceful and loving and just showing people light. Because, like, I know you probably don't want to be vulnerable with people.
Especially us, black people.
Oh, like, woo, us ladies, black women, black people.
No, like, black people in general, I feel like the world has hardened us.
The world, man.
Giving us hell. But I feel like they're less likely to forgive, and we're harder, and like, oh, I don't trust people. I got trust issues. Oh, like, that is so irritating to me to hear that.
Don't we all?
Because I feel like if I haven't done it, then I should get that treatment. And you should do that healing and process those feelings before you approach me.
I'm glad you segued into healing because I wanted to. But even before we go there, I want to just go to your point. But you just said you be guarded because things make you that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, too, I think it's wise to take maybe what someone has done with you as a mental note, but never pin that on the next person.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they ain't did nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
But people be acting. I don't know. So anyway, healing.
Yes.
What is healing to you?
So we have on our little checklist of things to discuss.
We're more organized.
What does it look like? What does it look like to have forgiveness or show forgiveness? And then what does it look like when you're healing or when you're healed? And for me, I feel like neither one has an image. I think either or, no matter which you're participating in or going through, I think forgiveness and healing has its ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
So I think sometimes, yes, I forgive you, but then a memory might trigger me and I might get back. I might be a little irritable or irritated, but that doesn't mean, that it's over or that it's just I'm in a moment where it's hard. Mm-hmm. Like even with healing, I don't think healing is just a linear thing. Like it's just not, I'm gonna take this 30-day process,
right? And
at the end of this, I'm gonna be fine.
Right.
No, because you might be great for 30 days, and then 20 days after that, it might be downhill. But I think it's all ups and downs. Like that's a part of life.
Yeah, and it's different for everybody. So to your point, yeah, I think there necessarily isn't a time frame for healing and or forgiveness. And I don't necessarily think there is a specific or set image. There's images because you evolve as a person. So your healing, the way you heal and the way you forgive is going to evolve too.
Yeah, and I think it's based off of like our perspectives and how we were raised. Yeah. Like, and depending on how we view life will depict how we handle life. Like, I think so many times people look at other stuff and be like, I should be over this by now. And it's just like, says who? Like, go through it and grow through it.
That was about to lead me to the next point. Like, what's the point of it? Because you want to go through, you need to go through it to get through it.
So you can grow.
So you can grow.
So that next time you will have the tools, I guess I could say, to be able to get through things better.
So, I like that. Let's open that up a little more. Tools. Okay. What's your tool belt some things in your tool belt that you use to help forgive and forget and heal?
Ooh, okay. So first, I like plan the whole murder.
You know what? Because you probably get away with that shit, but it's like, we're so crazy, we're sane. We're so crazy, we're freaking sane. Like,
no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't judge me.
I'm not rude, but I can really take it.
Like, I will like plan out them getting hurt, and then I'll be like, no, I don't want them to get hurt.
Because that's energy.
Yes, and then I'll say I don't want them to get hurt. I just want their feelings to be hurt, and then gradually. But this is a part of my process. I don't stop where I start. So
there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm sure that myself included, a lot of people can concur that they do that too. Not
But I
murder,
have
but like
crazy thoughts about sometimes like cutting
somebody make the story.
I'm like, what if I stab my own hand?
I need to get back. We need to get back. You tried to hurt me. I'm at your neck. What? That's energy.
Yes.
So chill out.
So I guess I start with that.
Okay.
And I gradually kind of like get to a point where it goes from, oh, I hope someone does it to you, to kind of like, why would you do it to
I was
me?
just gonna say, why would you do that to me?
So it gets to a point where I kind of say like, why would you do it to me? And then from there, ooh, but now it's kind of getting hard because I don't want it, because I think it's different, but depending on the relationship.
That's the situation.
Yes, the situation. So if I'm thinking, because from the beginning I've been thinking from a romantic standpoint, how I will process this. So it would start off, like I said, with like thinking about like, what if something happened to them, type crazy stuff. And then it'll kind of go from like, why would they do it to me, to kind of me like reaching out to them at this point. Like it takes me a while. So I'll like be reaching out like, why would you do this? Like what happened? Like kind of hurtful, like sending me messages. And then after that, I feel like
you send messages.
Yes.
You contact them. Oh, that's where I go. Like, oh.
But I feel like I only like that period of time is very, very short lived. And this even feels old, like the old me.
Okay.
Like I don't even really have these issues anymore. Right. But I feel like the old me, like, and then I would have a small period of time where I would reach out sometimes and like say like, what will make you do those things to me? And then, and not all the time it turned into something mean, but sometimes it did turn into F you and your mama. But
now we talking mama.
no, I'm just playing.
Okay.
Sometimes. But and then from there I would kind of just feel embarrassed, I think. And then I would just leave it alone. And then I would just deal with it by myself, like working out, staying busy, investing in me, going back to school, like just doing stuff, like to invest back into me. And then I feel like those situations kind of helped me to be who I am now, where I'm not like, well, why would you do that to me? And like those type of things don't matter anymore.
Right.
Because once you do them, I feel like you did what you needed to do for you, and I respect that. But I also respect me enough to walk away from you and wish you the best.
And I needed it. Not even why. It goes from why me to
Why not?
Why not me?
Yeah.
I needed that to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly how it happened, because I needed to learn that and find a new boundary.
And you know what? I feel like those situations, whenever I've gone through something, I feel like after I've gone through it, I've bossed up. So instead of going through it for so long, I decided just not to. Like I immediately go from, dang, that sucks, but now I got more time because I don't have to deal with you anymore. So then I immediately invest that to me. So then the next thing you know, it's just win after win after win. Like it never fails now. Like I feel like this year has been so crazy for me because with every loss, instead of harping on the loss, I just say, okay, what's next? Like, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do? And then
That's how my year went too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how my life goes. Like, okay, you try to take me. All right, that's why I'm getting blessed even more, because I was genuine and I gave you grace, and I was like being good, not because for an act. Like that's who I am. That's who I am. So that's why we bossed up and get blessed.
that's a good point. That's a great point because the energy that we're giving off, we are going to get back because we're genuine in who we are versus being intentionally nasty.
And then to those last 2 points, I want to say is like life is gonna stop. So why would you want to go through life being mean to people, being nasty to people? Like, yeah, you come into this world and you leave this world by yourself, but you have to be with other beings. So why not just make it the best experience you possibly can?
Yeah.
That's, you're gonna go through risks and roadblocks and challenges. That's the point of life, but
You shouldn't stay there.
you shouldn't stay there. And to just intentionally, like you said, be nasty, I just don't get it, especially when you know life is finite.
Yeah. And I saw something or read something so long ago, and it made me think about death a lot differently. And, excuse me, during whatever I was watching, this lady had died and no one showed up to her funeral except for her kids. And it was just sad to me. And I like got super emotional about it because it made me self-reflect. And I feel like it had to be so long ago, because when I was growing up, I feel like I was a mean girl. And now I'm like totally different. Like a complete 360, like a totally different person. And it made me self-reflect to say, like, who would show up? Like, even the people that you're calling your friend, you're probably only calling them your friend because y'all all mean to the same people. But if you're mean to just random people, that means you're definitely mean to one another.
You're a mean girl, Kayla?
It lives to pass me, though. Like, I have some forgiveness and healing.
Were you a mean girl, like, for real, or you just think now that you're...
No. Like,
damn.
Like, I was bad.
Oh, okay.
Like, I did a lot of stuff in high school.
Well, we'll have a mean girl episode. It has to be on a Wednesday, and we got to wear all pink, period. All right, next movie going. Sorry.
I'm not even paranoid.
Y'all would love that.
I could definitely talk about
our mean girl
stuff.
phases.
And then have
Everybody
people
has
come and like talk about their or some present mean girls that we know. Come on. We too old to be mean girls. That's kind of grown behavior, but anyway.
Yeah, like to your point of how you just view just the next. My family says transition rather than death or whatever. But like I was telling y'all, we walked in today, and we'll be wrapping up shortly, very soon. But a few days ago, I know someone who took their first breath, and I also know someone who took their last. Same day. And it was on a holiday. Like that just hit so different.
Yeah.
So I was telling them, I don't know if you were in the bathroom, but
I don't know.
yeah.
But even like hearing you say that is enough for me to kind of like understand, like, life is fleeting. Like, so we should take advantage of that and not try and stay in those negative spots. And as a person who suffered from depression, I know that's not always easy, but it is definitely something that we have to focus on. Like, it's something that we have to work on. And yes, it's hard. And it's not, I mean, I talk about losing like the 3 closest people to me all the time. Like my best friends. Like I've known them for forever and now I don't talk to them no more. Like I don't know what they do. Like they don't even know I bought a house. Like we aren't cool anymore. And yes, that was a hard transition. Like it was definitely a life-changing situation. Like that was life-changing for me to lose like my best friend. But at the same time, I feel like I made that decision for me and I don't regret it. Like, does it hurt? Yes. But I feel like when you're transitioning and going through a period of leveling up, it does feel uncomfortable and it does hurt. But that's because it's new and it's changed. And humans, we aren't, even though we're equipped and like able to constantly change, it's something that's extremely uncomfortable for us all the time. Like we hate change. The first Black president, everybody was totally against it, but it was more so because it was change. Like even with the first woman, and yes, we can definitely say it was right, but even with the first woman, it's because it's different.
It's different.
It's not what we're used to.
I'm sorry, you want to know why I laughed? Because I remember what I was in high school when Obama became president or whatever. But I remember there's Obamacare, and it was somebody that went on.
Before you say something, let me swallow first. Please say something.
You say something funny. I mean, it might be funny. You might smack your lips at it because it's like really you didn't know. Some people thought there was a difference between Affordable Health Care Act and Obamacare. Like, it was somebody, I'll record it, people, it's a documentary, going up to random people on the street, probably out in LA, like, all right, how do you feel about Obamacare? And they would say, oh, I don't like it, da 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 da. And they might be, well, how do you feel about the Affordable Care Act? And they're like, oh, well, it's great, da 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 da. And then the interview is like, it's the same thing.
Put his name on it like that.
Right.
But even that, I feel like that was manipulation, but
We won't get
we're
into
not
that.
talking.
But I just
about
found out it just out of all the things Obama related.
that. Girl, I saw so many freaking videos about all of that stupidness. But anyways, yeah. What else do I have to even say about that?
I was gonna say, you know, we gotta ask the proctor. We gotta ask our special guest. Do you gentlemen have anything to add to this discussion today?
James.
He's looking at me. You don't have to come and show yourself, but you can speak.
I don't know. I was.
You are listening. Well, you were setting up. You heard what we were saying, so you know the topic is forgiveness and healing.
So let's look back at each other in 5, 4. We're cutting this part.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I mean, I guess I kind of just feel like both of them are essential, and I think you should at least start working towards it.
Having awareness of
That's
the fact that your life will probably be at a different level if you accept the fact that you probably should forgive and forget, depending on the situation. But it's okay to not forget.
And even if you do forget, it's okay to not have the same relationship with that person.
That's true.
anymore.
That's true.
Because they could potentially affect your healing process.
So say all of that is a part of it.
Yeah, and if you're constantly being triggered, how do I move forward and how do I level up? Because I'm too worried trying to get my emotions back together. I can't even invest back into me. So, like, my whole thing with all that is, like, you have to forgive and maybe not forget, but just kind of don't hold on to it. Like, I don't think you should, like, hold grudges and still be mean. Like, we can still speak, we still be cordial.
Or not. Sorry.
or
not.
Excuse me.
We're so polite. We're so nice. We're the opposite.
No, like, I agree. Like,
I say what you wanted me to. All right, I got you. Good. I got
no, I definitely agree. But I guess I always, like, if, for the most part, if it would be awkward not to speak. So I'll speak, like, if I have to.
you. You better than me.
But I'm not going to go out of my way. But if we're, like, right here and I sit down and it's someone I don't talk to anymore, I'm going to say hello.
I promise you, if you're not my mother or my father or my brother, I do not care.
And you wouldn't speak?
Do you pay my bills?
So do you think that that's holding a grudge?
No. That's what,
Because why can't I just be cordial?
I mean, if you say something to me, it depends on my mood. It depends on my mood. If I want to speak to you, I'll speak to you. If I don't want to speak to you, I won't speak
So
to you.
it's not an obligation.
No, I'm not obligated to do
Okay.
shit for nobody.
I feel that.
Not being rude, not being like, it's just, I'm at this point where you gotta be your own person. Whatever that is, whatever your mood is that day and that moment, like, and I'm okay with that. Cause I know, for the most part, I be nice to people.
That'd be my thing.
And it's like, if I'm not nice, I'ma just not say nothing. That's probably what it is. I'ma just not say nothing. Cause I know are my words.
But even to go deeper into that, I know you running out of
Sorry,
time, but I have to say this because, like, I'm not even speaking to what you were speaking about when you even said that, but that whole I don't do nothing to nobody. Like, I'm nice to everyone. So if it takes, or we get to a point where we're not speaking anymore, I know I didn't do nothing. And that's sometimes get to me. But I still try to be
I had to
nice.
learn that. No, Kayla, I think that's what I was trying to say. I had to learn that in my early 20s.
But
Fuck all
it
that.
sounds backwards from how we started. Because, no, I feel like you were saying you trust people right off the bat. And I'm saying, like, no, I don't trust them. And then I'm saying, like, if I see people out, I'll still speak. And you like, no, if I don't want to, I just won't.
Like I said, it depends on my mood. It depends on the situation. It depends on who you are to me. But really, it depends on my mood. Because we could really be still on terms where we are cordial not speak. But if I don't feel like speaking, I'm not going to speak. It's about me. Kayla's thinking it too.
So many times you leave me speechless.
You ain't know I was like this.
No, I did.
Because I'm you.
Which is why I wanted you to do this.
I am Kayla's thoughts. I just want y'all to know I am what Kayla really tells me when we cut the
I am
camera off.
always the good one.
Oh, I'm good. Oh, okay. We'll say on camera. I'm not bad. Whatever.
She bad off camera too.
But that has been another episode of Millennial Diaries. I appreciate the conversation. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what forgiveness and healing is for you.
Another episode in the books.